Alright, and I see myself. That must mean that I should be live. Alright, I have a plan for this evening, and the plan is a mech. So let's see if any of you guys show up to watch, and if not, well, at least it'll be a recording. And it's not just any mech. I've recently watched Darren Mack's interview with Brent Miller about doing voice acting for Ninjago, and I thought that was super fun, and I really loved his outfit, Darren Mack's outfit, and I think I'm gonna do Devon. It's a bit late. Aaron's Devon mech. Aaron's Devon Mac mech. There we go. Sorry, Devon, if you ever watched this, botched your name. But let's see if I can make up for it by doing a funny mech. So I'm just noodling a bit here, trying to get into it, building some silhouette and just a feel for what I want to do. So just want to build a torso here, and what you can't see is I have a screenshot from Brent Miller's Twitter up with Devon Mack in this fun smiling hand finger pistol pose. Don't know if I want to emulate that. I might just wait with the arms for later. Oh shoot, the thing's private. Public. There we go. Now public. Delete. Great. So back to it. Hey, Packed Animated. You found it. You're fast. Welcome, man. Just trying to find my way back into it. I've been back from summer break for a few weeks, but I've been on different projects, so I haven't actually been doing Ninjago work for a while. So, just gonna get back up on ye olde horse. Yeah, sorry man, I did the same mistake as last time, which is I never set the thing to public. So there's that. Anyways, I think I'm gonna... I can't decide if I want to do the finger pistol pose that he's doing in the image, because it's quite fun. Maybe I should just like own it. It's just... I wanted to do something with the design, and you can't really see it if he has his hands up there, but... I never said process was pretty. But this is legit what I do as well when I work. Trying to find my way into something that is interesting. Pretty comes later. Oh, that's cool. What's the icon for? So I want to try and see if I can do. So in the image I'm looking at, Devon Mac. Oh yeah, you haven't heard this. I'm trying to do a mech for Aaron, and I want to base it on a photo that Brent Miller, who's the voice actor for Sane, took of Devon Mac, who is the voice actor for Aaron, in which he's wearing this awesome split color orange-black hoodie and shades, a headband, and just like have all of this really fun attitude. And I want to build a mech on that and Aaron. So I'm like trying to get the vibe and the pose, and I want to see if I can get some dragons in there. Hello, Zane, welcome. And I can just feel, after not drawing that much Ninjago on the computer for 3 weeks, I'm a bit rusty. Oh well. Guess that'll get me ready for next week. Yeah, guess who you're named after. The famous, I'm not going to say infamous because nobody would ever call saying infamous, but the famous Ninja Vice. Ah, come on. Where's my creativity? Gotta make room for Aaron in this. Change your tactic. Let's try to go and get color. No, I don't want to get color yet. It's not ready. I know that I'm the only one that can tell what's going on right now, yeah. But hopefully I can wrangle it into something that is meaningful for all of us. Basically, I want to try and see if I can create 2 dragon heads looking towards the center of the mech, where I want a plate for some Ninjago writing, and then come up with some sort of interesting thing for his shoulder. It looks like a bow tie, yeah. Yeah, let's not have that survive, but I totally get you. Dragon eyes. Woo! Teeth. Snout. Do I want this to protrude out? I think I do. No, I don't. I want it to be behind. Oh, I would love to post more regular videos, but it's just like I can't. There isn't much room for doing it during work hours, because I actually gotta make the we gotta make the toys and everything that goes into that. So I have to do it in my own time, most of it, and I have 2 kids and a family and stuff, so I don't have that much time and energy always after a day at work. So let's see. But I love sharing what I know, and I'm also fine sharing me failing a little with this. Even when you've done this many times, you can definitely end up being challenged by your own ideas and ambitions. But today I am home alone and the kids are tucked to sleep, so I thought that I'd give this a go. So the thing is, I don't know if you've seen the image, but Devin Mac, he's pointing. Hey, Ninja Whip, is that the Ninja Whip? If it is, then welcome. Oh, now I have nerves. But he has this awesome finger pistol pose, and it's looking really cool, but it's also kind of concealing his shoulders and his forearms and everything, which is a good place to do design on a mech. So I was like, what do I do? Maybe I just do it like this. Prep for a big sword. I know this is super janky. Who the hell sleeps at 11? I do. Okay, I need to clean this up a little. I think there are some interesting ideas, but it's also a total mess. So I'm gonna dial down the contrast here. And now, Photoshop wants to tell me about layers. Yeah, I have heard of those. Where are my... There we go. So let's see. I got these dragons here, and they're gonna save me because having 2 dragon heads looking towards the center of the torso is gonna look pretty cool, I think. So let's make sure that they work. Yeah, here's the thing with this stream is I really do not plan to stay awake all night, so I'm trying to see if I can pick up the pace here. Alright, that's good. Then I want this signage in the middle. Where I can write Aaron, because that's a classic. Got Aaron's little head up here. And then let's see if I can kind of capture the essence of Devin Mac wearing shades in a mech without it looking like a face. Because mechs were always kind of abstract. I know Niku does the mechs, he just these super cool faces. So this. I'm in deep water here. Like I haven't tried doing a portrait and a mech at the same time. So you are seeing me struggle. This is real. It's not rendering the design is easy. Making the design is hard. Especially just after summer break. Thursday I spent pretty much all day rendering 2 designs for a project, and today I rendered 1 design for a project in 18 minutes because I knew what I wanted to do. So like drawing stuff does not necessarily have to take that long. If you know what you want to do, and I really don't. I know I want to do a split down the middle once I color this in. So let's see how to get into the arms here. I don't think I'm going to give it all 5 fingers. It's probably going to have 4. And this piece of... What do I want to do with this? Where does it sit? It sits... Okay, it sits like that. I don't know if I'm getting any smarter by doing this. Well, let's see. Whoops. Yeah, good enough. Let's dance. Can't be here all evening. Brush, paint, color, go! Oh shoot. I need to flip this. There we go. This side's yellow, the other one's black. I mean, I wanted to kind of look like the mech from the new set, while obviously not being the mech from the new set. It's also featuring the dragon head. This is, while fictional of course, a lot larger. This would be in the range of a Titan mech, I'd reckon, if this were to ever be built. What do we do with this? Do we give it some teal? Could do. Let's try. get Aaron in there. Hey Yado, welcome. I'm sorry I'm not that good at keeping up with the chat right now because I'm just trying to make sense of what I'm doing here and getting it to a place where I know that it's gonna end up being possible. Wouldn't want it to suck. That would be a boring stream. Still educational though. Watch supposedly professional men fail at art. Go, Aaron, go. There we go. Now at least it's a mech, because it has a pilot. Layers? What layers? That's not true. I actually usually have a bunch of layers, and this will at some point have as well. Let's get like a bit of framing for the cockpit. Right now my values are all over the place, so I need to get that sorted. Just so we can see what's grey and what's black and... Oops, didn't need that. Needed this though. I'll get back to that, just a reminder. That's what's supposed to say. I use a Cintiq, a Wacom Cintiq currently. Well, yeah, since for a long time. At home I use a small one, and at the office I use a larger one. Gonna try something funky here. I want this to go here. Yeah, let's try this. Hello, Control C. Have you ceased? There we go. Sorry, window just froze for a little while. I want to try and see if I can do something with the hoodie strings that he is wearing in the reference image that I'm looking at. Oh, did I try Huion? I'm not sure I did. I think at some point I've sat down with an XP pen, but it's many years ago. And one of my colleagues at a different job got one, and I had a run with it. So what is a regular tablet though? like a Wacom. Let's clear the silhouette up a bit. Oh, right. Suddenly I feel old. Yeah, I in my mind a tablet became a digitizer, to use such an old word, before it became an iPad or one of the other ones. I also have access to a tablet. I think Procreate is great. Also a lot cheaper than all the hardware needed to do what I'm doing here. So yeah, that really changed the game. I think that suddenly you could have access to what Procreate does for the much more manageable amount of money those things cost, or something that runs Procreate costs. Alright, let's try and bring out some shapes here. So, starting a new layer, making it grey-ish. And do I have a round dirty brush? I don't, do I? Screw it. While I'm flattered saying it is really far from finished, hopefully we can get it looking a little bit sharper before the end of the stream. Something that would be worthy of your time to build, because right now it's still quite a mess. Trying to find something of interest here. Still, it's very loosey-goosey. But I hope at some point magic happens and all of a sudden we have something that's just a little bit interesting. For example, if we start looking for surfaces. So get some edge definition on here. I think that really needs it. Because it's very muddy. It's also more muddy than what I usually do. So I'm just trying to add some shadows, some ups and downs. And it's kind of undefined space, but I'm also looking for some inspiration in the middle of all of this. To be like, what could interesting shapes be here? Thinking if I could capture the ninja mask shape in the shape of the eye, of the shades that he's wearing in the reference photo. I'm such a mouth breather when I'm painting. My wife, she's mocking me all the time. Like, I don't know. It's a thing apparently when I'm concentrating. It's like breathing super weird. It still kind of does look like sunglasses. It's kind of fine because he's wearing that in the image. I think I'm gonna collapse all of this, and it's too messy to give the layers any reason to keep existing, but it's good enough that I want to work with it. Where did my sketch go? I can tone that down a little. Now let's start making the magic happen. Sometimes it's so little that you kind of need to really bring out. I know I'm totally tunnel visioning on these dragon heads, but I think they're gonna be pretty important to make the image look cool. So just want them to be like a benchmark for how this could look dope. Alright, I kind of understand what's going on there now, so that's a good thing. Let's see, I want these fingers to be metal and black. Oh. It's a weird process because, I mean, I've done this many times, and I'm still, especially when I'm starting out as loose and without a sketch or like a really good idea of what I want to do like this, I'm still super scared that it'll never ever come to something. And sure, sometimes it never it does never come to something, but I mean, it's going places. It's like, it could be a thing at some point. In all the looseness, trust the system, I guess. Yes. I think at some point I wanted this to be the next tutorial, but I was like, just wanted to get going. And again, this is, I don't know, it's hard making a tutorial because making a tutorial means that you understand everything that's going on, and oftentimes I don't. I just have to experiment and run with it and find stuff that kind of works. I think I have a much neater process when I'm doing minifigures. It's like it's always the same. But when I'm doing models and mechs, it's oftentimes a lot more messy because they're so complex, and you kind of want to keep the complexity with what you're doing, but you don't want to spend the time trying to figure everything out because that's hopeless. at this point I'll probably put it up somewhere. I mean, since it's live streamed, it's public enough. It's out there. Whether it turns out to be cool or not, it's definitely, there's no avoiding that this happened. Hey, Max Rice, thank you. And welcome to this very improvised stream where I'm diving into the deep end, trying to capture Devin Mack, who's the voice actor for Aaron, in a Aaron mech, based on a photo that Brent Miller posted of Devin Mack from an interview they did. And Brent Miller is the voice actor of Sane. This is still kind of wonky. What do I want to do this? Yeah, this post does have a lot of attitude. It's pretty fun, and again, it's taken straight from that Twitter post by Brent Miller. The only thing I'm not capturing in the mech, I guess, is Devin's smile. Because, well, the mech doesn't have a mouth. Okay, so we got a little more definition here. How lazy do we want to be? Fairly lazy. Alright, let's do this. Save myself a little time and effort. Yeah, so Branilla's, for the longest time, he's been doing these interviews with the voice actors for the Ninjago show, and he recently did one with Devin Mack, who is the voice actor for Aaron. It's a pretty nice watch. It's cool conversations. Be bold, be big, do more. Alright, this is getting to places where I think it can be salvaged into something reasonable. Just try and get some interesting shapes in there. Get rid of the line. Don't even want to call this line art because it was so fast. But whatever I did for lines. See, the thing is, like, I will sometimes, or I do work like this professionally as well, occasionally. Sometimes it's different, sometimes it's like this, and I wouldn't know how to make a tutorial on this, because it's just like a bunch of intuition and experience, and then a naive belief that this can work. No, it's not a naive belief, it's just some sort of confidence that I've built up by doing this a lot. And I'm sure that some people would say that this is still garbage, but it works. Well, if it took you a while to realize that just as a dragon, that means I probably have to refine it a bit more. I'm in the business of if it looks good, it is good. And that also means the inverse. If you can't see what's going on, it's probably not that good. And I'm fine with that. Oops. Okay. Let's go to town with the dragon. Just get that sorted once and for all. I'm now happy with the fact that I believe that this can work. So let me just do this for real and get those dragons super tight so that they just work. Perspective, here we go. Still going fast, but I mean, as you can see, the level of detail, and there's a bit of construction lines here, so putting a bit more tightness into it. Again, a design like this, I could definitely spend an entire workday doing this, and I wouldn't want to sit and watch that either, so coming in a little bit fast here. This is pretty much good enough. Side view is obviously easier. It's a bit on the symmetry. Yeah, the Ninjago dragons, they definitely have their style. One with the big white teeth, the really old ones, where they were very long. They were definitely before my time. So, but I haven't designed, I think, any of the Ninjago dragon heads. So. Alright, so this makes a bit more sense now. Maybe want to figure out the area around the head as well. Again, don't want to spend too much time with this line art, because it's not really gonna be used, but at least if it helps my sanity, it does serve a purpose. Hey Mohammed, welcome. Yeah, it's also just a lot about like volume and symmetry. It's obviously not gonna be it's never supposed to be fine line art, so. But having a few elements being pretty on point with the symmetry makes the whole thing read a bit better. Thank you. I just want to see if I can get it cleaned up and look kind of appealing as well. I joined the Lego team in 2020, I believe. Although I had worked on a bunch of Lego projects beforehand as either a freelancer or yes, in an external company of some sort, different compositions. Try that. So Dragons Rising was the first thing that I've done like a full, was part of the entire process almost from start to finish. Oh, I think my dragon obsession came earlier than the Ninjago. I played a lot of tabletop role-playing games and of course video games as well. Lizard dogs. It's funny how wide a gamut dragons have as characters. In some renditions they're primitive beasts, and in others they are beyond intelligent. Really depends on the fiction that you're looking into. That's the first hour. I don't know whether this is coming together fast enough, but oh well. What are you doing? I have a wasp somewhere having a nice time. Yeah, it's flying around the room. It's fine. Is it a wasp? What are you? No, it's just a big fly. My mistake. It's time to ask the question, what is the worst on this current drawing? What's the word? It's because, I mean, this sketch is definitely not driven by like a need for everything to be 100% well rendered. Then the process would have been different. It's about like capturing an impression of something. So it's like I'm just jumping from detail to area to area that I think works the poorest, and then that's kind of my guiding light in all of this. Is like, so what's the worst? And then I'll take a look at either refining the design or the rendering of something, depending on if I think that it's the design or the rendering of the thing that's making it the quote-unquote worst. Welcome back, and thank you. It's still way messy, but it's gotten places. It's like a world where I would probably totally need to deconstruct this and find all the stupid things that make it still feel a bit wonky. But there's also a world where I just keep slamming it with a hammer and hope that every bump makes it just a little better. That's like the modus operandi that I'm doing right now. It's just like do more and hope that it does something interesting. Yes. If brute force isn't working. I think I've learned, so here's a bit of dubious professional wisdom, but I'm gonna throw it around anyway. I've learned that the more complicated an issue seems, the more reckless you need to be with the experiments of solution. Because I'm like so far from knowing what this should be that just trying to be precise and doing things by the book. It's better just to be fast and experimental, and then if it really turns out that there's something interesting there, to go back and fix it later. I could have sat down and put on a perspective grid for this and constructed all the shapes meticulously to make sure that it was all in perspective, and I knew that where each shape would start and where it would end. And I'm sure the drawing would be a lot more spatially correct than this, but I'm also pretty sure that my design would have been a lot less experimental. And if I ever would come across something in my design that I didn't like, it would be a lot more painful to fix it, because it took a long time to get it in that perspective that I set up. And like, you start thinking in the grid that you make for yourself. So I like it a lot better to just do something that is a lot less precise, and then if it feels like it could become a cool design, then go in and clean it up. And that's basically, whenever I'm doing this, I'm doing the line art, that's the kind of cleanup. And I'm still, when I'm doing this now for the stream, I'm doing it fast. But there is a world where I could really go in and look for all the right ways of rendering the perspective and make sure that the proportions were consistent between things. Here I'm just like doing a lot of, I'm gonna call it qualified guesswork on shapes and sizes of stuff. And of course, like, some of that way of working, I think is I would recommend for anybody, but of course I'm also relying a fair bit on my experience when it comes to being so loose in this perspective and with everything. And so it's very hard to just say, go do this and it'll totally work for you, because there's a lot going on. Perspective and color and stuff like that. So now I'm just trying to make the image a little more readable by separating some of the shapes. Let's see how this pans out. Basically highlighting things that come toward us and like darkening things that are behind them ever so slightly. So it's not a realistic lighting model or anything like that. It's more a compositional trick. Sorry, my voice is kind of going there. Also, excuse me, using the combination of masks and soft brushes a lot. I think it brings a quick feeling of refinement to have some super soft transitions. I'm not even gonna call it gradients because it's more like transitions, then paired up with some very hard edges. Doing stuff like this. Mine? Oh, can I even say that? I don't know. I like Wu because he's a teacher. I'm gonna risk it all and say that I like Wu because he's a teacher, and I like passing on knowledge as well. Right. Placement of these things are still kind of odd. So now I'm trying to fix the perspective in the most janky way, but it works. And that's where it's like, yeah, it's definitely not. It's definitely not correct perspective, but it was fast. So I think getting close to where I think I just need to let this sit for a while. So I'm just pulling some of the tricks here, the rim lights and stuff, just to maybe help readability of the shape a little. What do you reckon? What do I need? What's the worst bit? Yeah, maybe it's if it's all like equal on the same level of janky. It's in a good spot. Yeah, sometimes it's like a few touches can really cheat the eye to think that, oh, all of this is super detailed. It's like, nah, it kind of isn't, but it's optical illusions, I guess. Hey Braden, thanks. Yeah, it's still a mess, but it's like I almost feel that I managed to salvage it. It's like there's a design here for a mech that's pretty fun. When you get to this point, it's a lot less stressful. Because it's like, it's fine. It's all gonna be fine. Yeah, maybe it's like maybe I should do something with the arms, like rather than just keep cranking up the resolution on these dragon heads. And the hand as well. It's true. It's very easy to get enamored with, well, with what is already easy. These legs are a big puddle of nothing as well. I love how this file has never been saved. But that's fine. Crashes don't happen in real life, right? I don't know. I think at least some of the ninjas, the colors have changed from design to design. I can't keep track of it. Who might have been consistent though. Thanks, Braden. Have a nice night. Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna be a regular thing, but it's more like a why not kind of thing. Shoot. I don't know, maybe I should just leave this be by now. Feel like I might be noodling. Yeah, I think it's good enough. Maybe ruffle up the lettering a bit. It's very clean. All right, well, thanks for hanging out. I'm gonna cut the stream then. I don't know if I'll clean it up offline at some later point. We'll see. If that's why it's not up, that might be what's happening. Then I'm just gonna let it rest before seeing if I can give it any meaningful last touches. But thank you so much for joining. Fun times. And yeah, see you later. That's the camera. I keep forgetting. Because whenever I'm talking, I'm looking at the chat. And chat's over there, but you're up there. Have a nice night. Thanks for stopping by. See you around. Be Ninja.